Okay, so for 6th grade, we're determining the central idea and details. It's talking about stories, and it's really teaching you about what the central idea is. A lot of times when we're telling a story, we're just giving all these facts, and it's about what is your main point in telling this story. So they give you a little example in the picture to help you figure out what the main idea of the story is. So it'll say, a cactus like this can survive for months without water. That's what it's saying right here. And it says, and it defends itself with the spines. So you're looking at the picture and they're giving you details about the cactus, but your idea, like your job, is to figure out what are they mainly trying to say. What do both of those statements have in common? So cactus can survive without water for a lot of months, which a lot of us already know, and it can defend itself from being attacked with spines. Okay, so they took these two supporting details and put them down here. Cactus can survive for months without water. The sign states the cactus should not be touched. And you have to find the last detail. So they gave us another detail right here. Here's a detail, and that's a detail as well. So actually, before I even do the center idea, I'm going to get my last detail, which handily is right here. It can defend itself with its spines. There we go. Defend itself with its spines. All right. And then we wouldn't want to leave it as it because you have to be specific. So a cactus defends itself with its spines. All right, so now I have all of my supporting details, and when I take all of that information, what does it tell me? What is the main story it tells me about a cactus? Okay, we have to think about where cactuses live. We have to think about why it's telling us all these different parts of a cactus. Okay, so a cactus can survive without water. Why would they need to survive without water? Well, a cactus grows in a desert. So, cactus can survive without water, defend with the spines, you don't want to touch it. That must mean that the cactus is a plant that has different parts, right? Different parts of it, different aspects, different, like, adaptations. The cactus is a plant that has different parts, I'll put in parentheses adaptations, that help it to survive and grow. And the reason why we're saying that is because it doesn't need all this water. It will still survive and grow if it doesn't have water. And then in order to survive and grow, it's got these spines so that birds and other animals don't steal the water that it does have. And it's saying do not touch it because this is their adaptation of spines. Okay? So cactus is a plant that has different parts that help it to survive and grow. Alright, so now we're reading about the Venus flytrap, and our idea is, like, we're trying to figure out what do they want us to learn? What is the main idea of this that they want us to really understand? Knowing that we're, of course, going to have to do what we did here with the central idea and the supporting details. We're going to do it again down here. They gave us 2 supporting details. We just need to find one more. So it looks like a creature with a mouth and it can't eat frogs. So, it can eat frogs. That's crazy. So I'm already looking. I see frogs. I'm going to cross it out just so that I don't think of it as another detail. And it looks like a creature with a mouth. Okay, looks like a creature with a mouth. Looks more like a creature than a plant. So this part right here, let's make sure we don't use this either. With red line lobes that resemble a mouth, it looks more like a creature than a plant. Because those 2 details are already used. Now I'm going to go to the top and try to find what's my main idea and what's one more detail. Okay? The Venus flytrap is a unique plant with many admirers. Well, that seems like it might be the main idea. Like, it's a unique plant that a lot of people are interested in. Okay, this carnivorous plant, okay, so the Venus flytrap is a carnivorous plant in the bogs of North America. So that means it's a plant that actually eats animals, and it's in North America. It uses the lobes to capture and eat insects. The lobes have small hairs that cause it to clamp down. This seems really important, right? It can trap. It has small hairs that cause the plant to clam down in an instant when a prey comes too close. That is a detail that seems very important because it explains like how all of this happens. It looks like a mouth, it can eat a frog, and this is how it eats the frog. So we know this is all about the fly trap. So when I go here, I already know I'm going to say the Venus fly trap is a plant that, right? We know it's a plant, and then we got to figure out what is the central idea they want us to know about it. It looks like a creature, it eats frogs, it has small trigger hairs that close. It has finger-like extensions called cilii that intertwine, and people find it so fascinating. So it says it's unique and fascinating. So those two details close out that whole paragraph. So what is the central idea? We're going to have to figure it out. It doesn't directly say it, but it says it's unique, it's fascinating, it's interesting. People want to know about it. So we can just say that the Venus flytrap is a plant that is very interesting and different from other plants. Right? It's interesting. It's different from other plants. Everyone's amused and interested in it because it went on to give 3 different ways that it's different from another plant. There's not a lot of other plants that their trap looks like a mouth. There's not a lot of other plants that eat frogs, and there's not a lot of other plants that basically have trigger hairs that clamp down and move. You don't see a lot of plants moving. So that's basically our central idea. Because you can look through all the supporting details, and it still makes sense. Okay? So going down, continue reading, use the close reading and hint. Find and underline the sentence in this paragraph that states your central idea. So we gotta look back. What's our central idea? It's a plant that is interesting and different from other plants. So which one of these makes us feel like it's interesting and different from other plants? One of the most mysterious things about it, the Venus flytrap, is that scientists still don't understand how the trap closes. That is really interesting. You would think science knows so much these days, but they don't know that. The flytrap does not have muscles, tendons, or a nervous system to move. Scientists guess that the trap might close using electrical impulses and pressure changes. This is very fascinating, but it hasn't really told us why people love it. Okay. Scientists guess that the trap might close with those electrical impulses and pressure changes. The longer they study the Venus flytrap, the more likely they are to discover its functions. It should be no mystery why it has captured. It should be no mystery about why it captured the imagination of so many people. Remember we said it's an unusual and different plant? Well, now it's saying it's an unusual plant. So this must be a sentence that is the closest to an interesting and different plant, because it's saying it's an unusual plant. Okay? Which sentence shows that? Which sentence is going to show, wow, this is a super interesting, different idea? So we already underlined it, so we're basically just matching what we underlined with the correct answer. So it should be no mystery connects with it should be no mystery. So we're just going to highlight this. Okay. Explain how the answer you chose conveys the data. So basically, the central idea was that the Venus flytrap was an interesting and different plant. Different kind of plant. The quote, right, this quote I chose for my answer says, it is an unusual plant. This conveys, so what do they want? They want how it conveys the text central idea. This conveys the central idea because it talks about how the plant is different. Okay, they're still using unusual and different, and that's how I was able to connect it. So I didn't just say, it's interesting, it's different. I chose this quote because it says unusual. I go one step beyond and also explain how I made that connection to choose the letter D as my answer. Okay, so it says, read the scientific account, use a study buddy and close guiding for your reading. So basically, as I go through it, they open by asking why so many people want to see a corpse flower. Awesome. We got to underline a detail about why people would want to see a corpse flower. Why would they wait to see a flower that smells like rotting flesh? Well, there's the reason right there. They're waiting to see something that smells like rotted flesh. That's crazy awesome, and it shows why they want to see it. They want to smell it. They want to see, does it really smell like rotting flesh? Okay. And then it gives more about the smell. It smells like a decomposing body. Wow. That's such a crazy flower. So I'm underlining that too, because it's giving why do people want to see the flower? Why do they rush to see the flower? Okay. Scent is not its only unique trait. It also grows at an impressive rate. It can reach a height of 9 feet. This is cool. They reach a height of 9 feet in full bloom. They bloom for only 1 or 2 days at a time, and people can smell the scent of death. So this is also, you know what? When it blooms, they flock to it because they just want to smell it. They want to see, is this true? I've never smelled that smell. I want to know, is it true? Okay. It was discovered in the rainforest. Even though they kind of grow there, they're still endangered. Okay. And people want to go see the blooms because they only have 1 or 2 days. Okay. 1 or 2 days is another reason you go to see it, because it's rare, right? Alright, so biologists have learned they can grow up to 6 inches. So none of this is why people go to see it. Now it's going into scientists. So rotting flesh can lure insects. Oh, that's very smart for the flower. It's close to real rotting meat. And human noses can't tell the difference. Interesting. Alright. Which of the following details shows why they're interested in the flower? Or it just basically shows that they are very interested. Is it because it smells like flesh, or that 16,000 people came to see it? It was nicknamed corpse flower. That doesn't really help us, because that's not why a bunch of people care about it. I think a bunch of people, the one that shows that a bunch of people care about it is the fact that it's talking about how many people, so many people. So we're going to say 16,000 people come to see it. Yeah, that's why people are coming to see it. Alright, so then basically we're going to stop there, and then we'll do a part 2 to just go over the different details, because we need to do stating a central idea of this account. So I'm just going to go through number 2, and then part 2 will be stating the central idea. Okay? So which of the following details is not strong support for why? Why are they interested in it? Because it smells like rotting flesh? That's a good reason. They want to know why it's not strong. So, people do want to see it for that reason, so that doesn't work. It blooms for a short time. It often grows as tall as a man. I mean, I want to see it for all those reasons. The only one I wouldn't want to see it for is just that it is an insect for pollination. So, it's going to be D.